Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to Green Flag Racing here, already in the B main here of the Monday Night All-Stars. My mistake here to all the boys here in the Monday Night All-Stars series, as we missed the heat races. I thought we started at 9 o'clock Eastern time, but we were apparently late to this one. My bad, fellas, my bad. We owe you big time now, as the Monday Night All-Stars are underway. Monday Night All-Stars, as all these drivers duking it out here in this B main event right now, each and every one of them battling, as Jeremy Akins leads the way. Brian Taft there in second. Cameron Stefanski in third with Cody McCoy, Dylan Simmons, Jeremy Kolba back there in the sixth position. A good look here at the 42 and a beautiful looking ride here for that number 42 and Nathan Trepo. Charles Minders back there in eighth with Brian Gunderson and Jim West. They're in position number 10 as Jeremy Akins leads the way here in this B main. Akins out in front, showing these guys how to get it done here in this B main. Unfortunately, I do apologize again to Dustin Benton and all the boys over there at the Throttle Down Motorsports in the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. We were late to this one. I don't know how that one happened. I thought we started at 9 Eastern, but apparently they started way earlier than that, as we are live now, but we are going to catch this action. We do owe these boys a big one here after missing the start of this one, as their series opener already putting on a good show here for us as the white flag has been displayed. It is Jeremy Akins out in front leading the way here. I do believe top 8 will transfer through. So right now, Jim West, Cody McCoy on the outside looking in, as Jeremy Akins out of quarter number 4 will pick up the B main win here in this one. Brian Taft there in second, Cameron Stefanski there in third, Nathan Trepo, Charles Minders, Dylan Simmons, Jeremy Kolba, Brian Gunderson. Our top 8 on the field here is JC West and Cody McCoy, who's upside down, will round out the field there in that consolation race. As we get these drivers loaded up and into the sim here for our A main feature event, a quick warm-up session as we get ready to rock and roll. We get ready to set these drivers loose for our A main here this evening. Bionic Man coming in, showing the love with the car star in the smoke emblems. We love it. We love to see that. Is looking very beautiful. Is my boy Jake Stefanski. Jake, my boy, I appreciate no one bitching me out yet, but I'm sure I'll get it here. I'm sure the boys will give it to me at one point. We missed the start of this race. I thought it started at 9 o'clock. I had the makeup race there for the 3 Days in Hell tour. I thought I had enough time there. I didn't even think of it, as we normally went Green Flag Racing at 9 o'clock before last season with the series. We went live at 9 o'clock, so I just automatically thought that I had till 9, and apparently we were late to the show here, and I do apologize to all the drivers and friends and family that are wanting to cheer these guys on or wanted to watch those heat races. I do apologize for being here late and not giving you guys the beginning of this race, and that's on me. That's my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. That's my mistake. But nonetheless, we'll get ready to rock and roll here for the A main feature event. We will at least get you that. We got the B main in there as well, as Jacob Stefanski out there on the Speedway. We'll get a good look here at all these drivers. Jake, a beautiful looking 32 machine out there, hot red looking ride. The Sunrise Racing Throttle Down Motorsports, Steve's Landscaping number 32, as William Hargraves out there on the racetrack as well. Beautiful looking ride there for the Dirt Panda. Malum Electric number 71. Corey Sibley in that Team CFM Esports Sweet Victory Apparel number 9 ride there. Currently third quickest here in this warm-up session. We see Jackie Whaley in his TWR. iRacing iFlag 720 ride. Jacob Sexton out there in his 2020 machine. Jeremy Sexton out there as well in his beautiful 2020 ride. Rolling there on the Speedway. Dakota Brown out there in the black number 19 ride. The Throttle Down Motorsports machine looking frosty out there on the Speedway. Ryan Howard looking good as well. A beautiful paint scheme here for the 4 machine of Mr. Howard. Steven Stefanski muscles out there in the Steve's Landscaping number 15. The Sunrise Racing ride there in the 9th position here of the quick time here. A pretty good time there in 9th quickest in this warm-up session. Michael Olsen out there on the Speedway, the 9 ride. Currently now 9th quickest here is Jeremy Akins right there. Jim Revis in the iRacing iFlag DWR number 57 ride. Jason Zilmer, Jeremy Kolba, Brian Taft not on the Speedway, but we do see Charles Menders there in the 66. Tyler Bowman out there in the 79. Cameron Stefanski, Charles Davis, Philip Sexton in the 2020. We still got Russell Harrell, Dustin Benton, Cody McCoy, Brian Gunderson, Matt Taylor, Dylan Simmons, Jim West, Nathan Trepo, and Tyler Jackson get to jump out there onto the Speedway, as I do believe our boy Dustin Benton has taken the odd side off here. We love seeing Dustin out there, and Dustin is one of the fiercest competitors out there on the Speedway when it comes to all these dirt street stock races, but he decided to take a step back here in this season, and he's joined the admin booth. He's going to be up there making calls throughout these races and not being out there on the racetrack. We hate to see it for Dustin, but opens up the door here for a lot of other drivers to potentially put themselves into the winner's circle here this evening. Man, I have the worst dang luck. Oh, Cody, my boy. I know. First night back and get taken out like that. Hate to see it. Be back next week for try again. Yeah, absolutely, brother. We know you'll be here week in, week out like you usually are, and I'm sure without a doubt, once you kind of get the rust off and get back into the swing of things, you'll be right back there rolling at the front of the field, as Richard Mott coming in showing the love as well, cheering on the Sextons here this evening, as Matt Taylor with the heart reaction, Amy Marie Stefanski with the heart reaction, Chris Muse coming back in with the like on the stream, Philip Sexton with that thumbs up, Garrett Marshall coming in with the like as well, Cody McCoy with the like and the share, as Richard Mott coming in with that like and the shares as well. Bionic Man, Susie Dinkins, and Mama Bear coming in showing the love with that heart reaction. My boy Jake Stefanski coming in with that heart reaction and the share as well here on the broadcast as we get ready to rock and roll. We're going to get ready to go to battle here in just a few more moments, as the warm-up session about to get finished, and we're going to get ready for the A main. We said had the transfer, just got the bad luck. Yeah, the bad luck, unfortunately. They're striking you right as the white flag was basically coming out, taking you out of contention here in this one, brother. It was definitely not the way you wanted things to go here this evening, as we'll get ready to go to battle. We'll get ready to stack these drivers up and go back at it here for our A-Main feature event, as our A-Main about to get underway. As Chris Muse says, you have a few Monday races. Yes, sir, Chris, we got a few Monday races. Unfortunately, the other race wasn't actually supposed to happen tonight. It was supposed to happen last Thursday. Then they rescheduled to today. I didn't even think of the time difference. I thought this series got underway like it did last season at 9 o'clock. So I thought I had time. I ended up missing the heat races, which, again, I do apologize about to the fellas. Missing the start of this evening and the start of this series. Definitely not the way we wanted things to get kicked off. But nonetheless, we're going to get things kicked off here with an amazing feature event, as all these drivers are going to get loaded into the sim and ready to rock and roll here for this feature event. The A main about to get underway here, as we're going to change that, as it's no longer the 3 Days in Hell finale. It is the Monday Night All-Stars about to get ready to go back to battle here this evening, as all these drivers getting loaded into the sim, each and every one of them looking for the win here on the evening, as starting on the pole in the 32, that is Jacob Stefanski. To his outside in the 71 ride, that is William Hargraves, and down on the inside of row number 2, it's the 2020 machine of Jeremy Sexton. To his outside in the Black Diamond Mafia, which will say Speed Shop, shopfergie22.com, Johnson Speed Shop's right. That is the 822 of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack, smart and looking ride here. Beautiful looking paint scheme there for Tyler Jackson, starting there in 4th. Ryan Howard going to be starting there in the 5th position. He'll have the 9 ride of Corey Sibley there to his outside. The 720 of Jackie Whaley in position number 7, with Michael Olsen starting there in 8th. Philip Sexton will start in the 9th position. He's got muscle. Steven Stefanski there to his outside, as starting in the 11th position, we see the 57 of Jeremy Akins. Jacob Sexton there to his outside. Then we see the 83 of Brian Taft, Matt Taylor, Tyler Bowman, the 2 rider Cameron Stefanski, Nathan Trepo, Dakota Proud, Charles Menders, Jason Zilmer, Dylan Simmons, Charles Davis, Jeremy Kolba, Brian Gunderson, and Jim Revis bringing up the rear of the field. As 25 drivers going to battle here in the season opener of the Monday Night All-Stars. here from Lucas Oil Speedway as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation here on lap number 1. Jacob Stefanski down at a corner number 4 will lead the first lap here on the brand new season for the Monday Night All-Stars in the Dirt Flash Super Street Series. As Stefanski's leading the way, you see the 71 of Hargraves there in second. T-Jack Tyler Jackson right there in their tire tracks as he's in position number 3 here. Sexton slides back to 4th here in the opening laps as Corey Sibley and Jackie Whaley on the move, hoping to try to work themselves towards the front of the field as Ryan Howard drops a couple quick spots here on the racetrack. The 4 right back 2 spots into 7th as Michael Olson and Philip Sexton battle door to door right there behind him. Steven Stefanski rounding out our top 10 as Brian Taft up a couple early spots here into 11th. Same with Cameron Stefanski now up into position number 12, and Tyler Bowman on 5 positions from the start of this race, and the 79 ride finds himself there in 13th. Dakota Brown also up 5 spots as Brown working the inside lane here, has that 19 ride hooked up down low as he rolls into the 13th position now up 7 spots for himself as he battles door to door with the 79 ride of Tyler Bowman for the 13th position on the Speedway. Out in front though, Jacob Stefanski leading the way as here comes T-Jack Tyler Jackson looking down low, trying to figure out a way to clear the 71H of William Hargraves as Hargraves going to slide back to 3rd. T-Jack now up into position number 2. Jackie Whaley now up into 3rd here as he rolls around the outside of the 9 ride of Corey Sibley. You see Jeremy Sexton right there within striking distance as well, trying to put himself inside the top 5. Same with Michael Olson as the 9 ride working to the outside of the 2020 and the other 9 machine there of Mr. Corey Sibley on the Speedway. Ryan Howard back there in 8th as Philip Sexton there in 9th. Steven Stefanski still rounding out our top 10 as unfortunately a few other drivers sliding backwards here as Jeremy Kolba there in the 24th position. We saw Jim Rabbit start this race back at the rear of the field here, and he's just been kind of hanging out back here in that 25th position, the last driver on the field here in this race. He was actually supposed to start in the 15th or 16th position. Unfortunately, though, with that EOL, it starts at the back of the pack as Charles Davis trying to work himself on through the field here. Dylan Simmons right there as well in the 33 as he rolls in the 21st spot. Jason Zilmer right there in front of him in that 344 ride. A beautiful looking paint scheme again here for Jason Zilmer in that VP Racing ride as he rolls there in the 20th position. Jeremy Akins right there in front of him, unfortunately the wrong way here for the 57 of Jeremy Akins as Akins started up in the 11th position, now slid all the way back to 19th. He's got Matt Taylor with some pretty good damage in front of him as the NLR 56 Graphics House of Speed number 15 machine there in the 18th position has the 42 and Nathan Treepo right there in front of him as we see the caution flag fly. You see 822 at T-Jack back here and the 9 rider Corey Sibley back there as well. So caution flag gonna fly. We'll see where this happened and what happened here is. Tough break right here. Looks like some contact in front of him getting stacked up. Unfortunately, I do believe just unfortunately someone could not get on the brakes quick enough there for the 9 ride of Corey Sibley. Sibley's trying to get checked up as the contact right there in front of him. T-Jack and William Hargraves get tied together here as Hargraves into the infield tractor tire. So Hargraves was able to work himself back up into second here. And he was trying to peek underneath the 32 ride, our race leader, and unfortunately get into the infield tractor tire. You see right there the 822 with Tyler Jackson, really nowhere for him to go. He's trying to get even lower than the 71 ride as he's thinking that's the only way he can get through it. Unfortunately, they make some contact, and as they do, they kind of just keep on rolling here into quarter number 3 and down the back straightaway. They just get tied together again. That really has to check both drivers up, probably with heavy damage for both of them. And as they're getting checked up, Corey Sibley's getting checked up. And I do believe that the 2020 ride, I'm not sure exactly which Sexton that was. It was Jeremy Sexton, unfortunately, that got in there a little bit too deep and got a piece of him and helped that 9 ride go around. We'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. It's Rubes Gaming coming in with that heart reaction. Tina Sexton coming in with that like as well. As the Green Flag back out into the air here for Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski back onto the loud pedal here, leading the way as Jackie Whaley. They're in position number 2 now, and here comes Jeremy Sexton as Sexton up into position number 3. He's got the 4 rider, Ryan Howard, working to his outside. Philip Sexton right there, as well as the other 20 ride on the Speedway up inside the top 5 now. So a pair of Sextons running in 4th and 5th here, trying to work themselves to the front of the field. The 9 of Michael Olsen there in 6th with Cameron Stefanski back in 7th. The 15 of Steven Stefanski there in 8th is Tyler Bowman, and Brian Taft round out our top 10. As here comes Tyler Bowman working himself into the top 10 here as well. A big run for the 79 ride, and right there is the 3rd Sexton in the field as Jacob Sexton now trying to work himself inside the top 10 as he works to the outside of Brian Taft for that 10th position on the Speedway. Matt Taylor right there behind that battle with Dakota Brown there as well. Charles Benders back in 14th as Jeremy Akins, Nathan Trepo, Dylan Simmons, Jason Zilmer, Jeremy Kolba, and Corey Sibley round out our top 20. Charles Davis back there in the 21st position. Brian Gunderson back in 22nd. Jim Revis there in position 23. Tyler Jackson there in 24th. And William Hargraves bringing up the rear of the field there. So after getting tied together and bringing out that first caution flag, T-Jack and Hargraves go from the penthouse to the outhouse as we see a pass for the lead. The 720 ride of Jackie Whaley is going to jump up and take this top spot away from Jacob Stefanski. So Jackie Whaley in the DWR iRacing iFlag number 720 ride now to the front of the field as Jacob Stefanski there in position number 2. Ryan Howard there in 3rd. Philip Sexton there in 4th with Michael Olsen. They're rounding out our top 5 here on the Speedway. Some great racing action, though, all around the Speedway. See Steven Stefanski still battling door-to-door here with Jacob Sexton for the 9th position on the Speedway, trying to get a big run underneath with 79 of Tyler Bowman. And then you see a little bit more, too, almost 3 wide right there behind him. It's Brian Down trying to stay in the 11th position. He's got Charles Menders right there as he's inside of Matt Taylor. You see Jeremy Akins and the 19 of Dakota Brown, both poking their nose into that battle just on the outside of the top 10, looking in. Dakota Brown there in the 15th position. See Nathan Trepo back there in the 16th spot as Dylan Simmons trying to work the hits inside. It's slowly but surely you see these drivers starting to open up more and more of the gaps between each other, and that's keeping Tyler Jackson way back here in the 22nd position. He's only passed about 2 cars since the restart. William Hargraves still back there at the rear of the field as out in front Jackie Whaley leading the way, starting to open up a little bit of a lead here as down across the line. They're going to click off another lap here and almost 25 laps into this race as Brian Smith says, Borix cool crate cars, huh? Which is pure stock crates? Lawrenceburg Indians in Florence, Kentucky Dirt Speedway. PeaceMaker, I respect you in them race videos. I've been to a few dirt tracks. Let's go, Brian. Let's go. That's what's up right there. Lawrenceburg and Florence, both pretty awesome racetracks. Pretty awesome racetracks. I haven't been there. Borix cool crate cars, which is pure stock crates. Yeah, exactly. Chris Muson's got you up on the TV. Let's go, brother. Let's go, brother. What's up, brother? Coming in, showing the big love again as well. He says, oh, the DDoS attacks messed it up. Yeah, they messed up my whole schedule. As MNT Motorsports says, woohoo, dirt circles, baby, dirt circles. Sometimes dirt circles are just as fun as pavement circles, but hey, listen, racing's, it's all fun, it's all a good time, and we enjoy each and every little bit of it. As Monday Night All-Stars does see a caution flag come back out here, we will take a look and see what brings out our second caution flag of this feature event, and it looks like Jacob Sexton possibly getting tied up here as the 2020 right up on the high side comes down a little bit into the 15 there of Steven Stefanski. Steven goes for the big slide job. Unfortunately, wasn't clear of that 2020. Gets into him, pushes him up the Speedway into the outside fence. There's pretty heavy contact for Jacob Sexton, as here's that contact right there. Jumps that car right up onto two wheels. Unfortunately, hard into the Lucas Oil corner for a wall, and heavy damage there for Jacob Sexton, and gets turned around. That will bring out our second caution flag as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, as Anthony Garf says, I want to run a Thunderbird body. That'd be pretty cool. Or even just like the Monte Carlo body styles for actual pure dirt street stocks here on iRacing would be so amazing. I know we have them now for asphalt stuff, but not for actual dirt stuff. So that would be pretty cool. We need updates in the dirt street stocks division. We definitely do need updates for these dirt street stocks. That is 100%. That is 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Get some Monte Carlos out there. Maybe get some Malibus, Thunderbirds, just some actual real dirt street stock field cars, not just the Camaro and the, the 2020 updated Camaro styles. Like the front nose cones and everything else are totally the wrong front nose cones. The rest of the body's fine for a Camaro, but the nose cones, everything else, let's get like a mid 79 or something like that, 78, 77 Monte Carlo nose and everything else, and then the Montes and stuff would be absolutely amazing. Lawrenceburg is okay. We run there weekly. Let's go, Anthony. Let's go, brother. You run Lawrenceburg is okay, but you run there weekly, so it's got to be just better than okay. It's got to be pretty decent. You're running there weekly. It's pretty decent. It's a fun track. If you're showing up week in and week out, it's got to be a pretty fun racetrack. As we are back to green flag racing. Jackie Whaley back onto the loud pedal as he looks at trying to run away with the first checkered flag here on the season. As he's out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done. He's getting chased down now by Jacob Stefanski in the 4-rider. Ryan Howard is up into position number 3 on the Speedway. The 9-rider Michael Olsen right there, now working to the inside of that 4-wide for the 3rd position. And here comes a pair of Sextons as Philip Sexton right there in position number 5. Gets a little contact. Is there 3, 4 wide here at a corner number 4. 4 wide there for a split second. They go back to 3 wide, but the battle's on here for the top 5. As you see Philip Sexton working the middle side, the 2-rider Cameron Stefanski down low, the 4 Ryan Howard up on the high side with Michael Olsen right there within striking distance as well. The 2020 of Jeremy Sexton there in the 7th position here, as here comes Steven Stefanski, Tyler Bowman, Brian Tapp up inside the top 10. As it's an absolute hornet's nest back here outside the top 2. As Jackie Whaley continues to open up a bit of a lead here between himself and Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski just holding on here to position number 2. Maybe trying to save his equipment for late in this race as the battles continue to brew deeper in the field here just outside the top 5. It's on like Donkey Kong, and around goes Steven Stefanski. Steven Stefanski goes for a loop-de-loop. Caution flag on the Speedway. Dylan Simmons getting a little bump there as he has to get completely checked up there as he gets a little contact with the 15. He saw Matt Taylor having to get checked up as well to avoid any additional contact there. As Muscles, Steven Stefanski in the number 15 ride, the Sunrise Racing WB Crave Design, Steve's Lawn Care. Number 15 racing hard here. We saw 3, 4 wide racing. Unfortunately, gets in there and just the rear end kind of steps out. I'm not sure if he had any help or not, but nonetheless, that car goes around, and we'll take a look here, see if we can get another angle at this, and see if he did get a little bit of help here as the 2020 sends it in. And I think, yeah, right there, the 2020 right, unfortunately, I believe that's Jeremy Sexton. Gives him a shot there into the back bumper, just jacks that rear end up and around. Nothing that Muscles can do except for hang on and hope for the best here as he's pointed the wrong direction. Staring at all these drivers coming right at him. Head-on collisions, definitely not the way you want to be. As we'll jump right on board here with this 15 ride and see what he can see here from the cockpit as he's trying to hang on and hope for the best here after this initial contact and going around in corner 3 and 4. Woo! Oh, baby, that is a sight you never want to see as a race car driver. Unfortunately, gets a little bit of damage, but it was probably the best that it could have been right there. As it could have been a whole lot worse for that 15 machine. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. Landon Imhoff coming in with that thumbs up on the broadcast, showing the love here in this one, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. As Anthony says, seen a modified barrel roll Saturday, never seen that before. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby, yeah, those modifieds, any type of car that can barrel roll is never a good sign. It's always never a good time, as we see Jackie Whaley quickly jumping back on the lap battle here as he's out in front of the beating and banging battle, and continuing on back here behind our front two drivers as they've been battling here in this one. Jackie Whaley, though, out in front. Jacob Stefanski there in second. Michael Olsen there in third with Philip Sexton. Ryan Howard there in third, fourth, and fifth position, as Cameron Stefanski on the outside of the top five looking in. Brian Taft there in position number 7. Tyler Bowman there in 8th now, as T-Jack Tyler Jackson's worked himself back up inside the top 10 here. T-Jack there in 9th as Dakota Proud in the 10th position, as Proud back there in the 10th spot. We see Corey Sibley right there on the outside of the top 10 looking in, and William Hargraves reworking himself back towards the top 10 as well here, as Hargraves and Tyler Jackson both got tied up in that first caution flag. Both went to the rear of the field. They hung out there for a little while, maybe trying to save some equipment, and now using a little bit of tire saving to their advantage to work themselves back up through the field here and towards the front of the pack. Sibley right there working to the outside of the 71. Charles Menders there in 13th with Jeremy Akins there in 14th. Jason Zilmer in that 15th position. A good run here for Zilmer, up 7 positions as he's now got that 15 of Matt Taylor looking to his outside. Steven Stefanski quickly making some heyday as he already went to the rear of the field. Now trying to work himself back up towards the top 10 as the 15th right. There in the 17th position is Nathan Dreamboat there in 18th. Dylan Simmons there in 9th. Jeremy Kolba there in that 20th position as we see the caution flag come back out. Upside down is the 83 of Brian Taft. Taft is upside down there in corner number 3. The caution flag out on the speedway. Heavy damage here for Brian Taft as that car is absolutely destroyed. The left front absolutely just pointed in the wrong direction. The right front looks pointed in the wrong direction, as well as some heavy hits right here for this 83 machine. Just inside the top 10, he's battling. He's got the 2 of Cameron Stefanski, the 4 of Ryan Howard there to his outside. Howard goes up the racetrack, and oh, that's exactly where it happens. I think they saw the 4 ride go up the speedway. The 2 machine doesn't see it. I feel like the 83 might have saw it, but figured he'd get the run to maybe clear this 4 machine down the back straightaway. Brian Taft unfortunately runs out of room here as they end up being 3 wide there. Taft tried to give him the space. Unfortunately, the 2 ride not realizing they're 3 wide. Close that door in a quick hurry, and that spins the 83 right around the 4 machine, getting some pretty heavy damage there as well. Then here comes the 9 right of Corey Sibley, who slams into the side of him. 57 of Jeremy Akins, the 66 of Menders goes right underneath of the 83 ride. The 83 actually lands on top of that number 66, and you see Brian Taft still flailing through the air right there and upside down. What a bunch of heavy hits right there for Brian Taft. Let's take a look and watch this in full speed here as the 83 goes for a very wild ride here. Down the back straightaway and into corner number 3 as this car goes airborne by quite a lot. Right there! Such a heavy hit there. Couple heavy hits. Hopefully Brian Taft is A-okay, man. That was a wild ride for Mr. Taft. We'll jump right on board and see what he can see here from the cockpit. As let's see the 2 ride down low. Let's see the 4 ride here looking to try to go 3 wide, but I don't think they really realized that they were 3 wide, and at that point it was on like Donkey Kong. And then this is never a sight you want to see out of the front windshield, as it's for a wild flip right there in 3 and 4, and definitely not the way he wanted to start his season here with the Monday Night All-Stars as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. As out in front, 720 ride of Jackie Whaley continuing to lead the way. Whaley out in front. Jacob Stefanski there in second. Jackie Whaley looking to pick up the season opener. Jacob Stefanski, though, right there in second. We saw Jacob lead a lot of laps early in this race until Jackie Whaley was able to get around him here. You got to think maybe the 32 ride, maybe saving a little bit of tires here throughout these final few laps. Maybe trying to wait, be patient, make sure he has something late in this race to make some moves as Michael Olsen now finds himself there in third. See that 720 ride trying to play this a little bit differently, trying to get everyone kind of stacked up there a little bit, slowing the pace down. That's going to help him, but it's also going to really help this 9 ride of Michael Olsen as he gets a good jump on the outside of that 720 ride. Now going to pull up door to door here with Jackie Whaley as Whaley and Olsen door to door for the race lead here as the 32 as Stefanski slides back there in the third on that restart. Philip Sexton right there inside the top 5. Now is Ryan Howard there in the 5th position. Cameron Stefanski, Dakota Brown, William Hargraves, Tyler Bowman, and Matt Taylor are top 10 on the Speedway. As Michael Olsen jumps up and takes this race lead away. A beautiful restart for the 9 ride as the 720 trying to check everybody up, trying to keep everyone sleeping back there behind him. The 9 ride timed it perfectly, got to the outside of Jackie Whaley, and now is our new race leader late in this race, who has 21 more laps left to go here in this feature event. These drivers putting on one heck of a show here for us. Is out in front, the 9 ride leads the way down at a quarter number 3 and out at quarter number 4. We're going to click off 2/3 of the way here through this feature event as 20 more laps left to go, and we're going to jump into a quick PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. Once again, gonna strike here for another yellow flag here at the Speedway. We'll take a look back and see what happened, as not sure where this caution flag started. Looked like possibly Corey Silvey getting collected in another one here as the 9 ride rolling here on the outside groove. And a good run up there on the outside, just a little contact as everyone in front of him starts beating and banging, and unfortunately he just once again in the wrong spot at the wrong time here as the 2020 ride and the 57 of Jim Revis come together. Revis bounces off the 2020 down into the 71 ride here of William Hargraves as he's just kind of getting pinballed around. Unfortunately, bounces back up the racetrack into the 9 ride, which stuffs his front end into the outside fence, and then Charles Minders comes in there, unfortunately gives him a good shot as well, helps him go all the way around as Jim Revis also spinning around there trying to hang on to his ride. Unfortunately for Jim, he's going sideways here as well. The 50 ride goes for a spill as well, trying to keep himself out of trouble as the 57 of Jeremy Akins going sideways there through corner number 1, trying to avoid all that action as well, as we are back to green flag racing as Michael Olsen out in front, quickly back onto the lap pedal here on the restart, opening up a couple car length lead between himself and Philip Sexton, as Sexton looking to jump up into position number 2 here on the Speedway. Some contact back there behind him, beating and banging, battling here. Back at the inside the top 10 here, as we do see a few more drivers joining the top 10 as things continue to heat up. Drivers continuing to beat and bang and battle here. Matt Taylor just on the outside of the top 10, getting a great look at it right there as you see the number 42 NT. That's Nathan Drepo trying to work himself up inside the top 10 as he's got Brian Taft in the 2020 and Jeremy Sexton right there in front of him. William Hargraves now down to his inside as Michael Olsen leads the way. Jackie Whaley still hanging on to position number 2, but he's got the 2020 of Philip Sexton there to his outside. Jacob Stefanski there in position number 4 and looking for more as the 2 ride. The Sunrise Racing PJ and FG number 2 machine, they're rounding out our top 5 on the speedways. The Steve's Landscaping number 2 machine there in 5th. And Steven Stefanski, Steve himself here, the Steve's Landscaping Sunrise Racing WB Creative Designs ride, they're in position number 6 on the speedway. A great recovery here for Steven Stefanski. We saw him go around not too long ago, had to go to the rear of the field. He's been able to work himself up through the traffic and back up inside the top 10, just on the outside of the top 5 here for Steven Stefanski. So a heck of a run and a heck of a recovery there for that 15 machine. Dylan Simmons there in position number 7 with Ryan Howard there in 8th. See Dakota Proud now up inside the top 9 here as he jumps into that 9th position. He's got Tyler Bowman right there behind him, rounding out our top 10 as Matt Taylor, Jeremy Sexton, Brian Tapp, William Hargraves, Nathan Trepo, Jeremy Akins, Corey Sibley, Jeremy Kolba, Jason Zilmer, Jacob Sexton, Charles Minders, Jim Revis, Charles Davis. Our top 23 is Tyler Jackson's looking his car off the racetrack, and so as in the 80 ride of Brian Gunderson. So a tough start to the series for both of those competitors. As out in front, Michael Olsen leads the way. Jackie Whaley there in 2nd. Philip Sexton there in position number 3, with Jacob Stefanski there in position number 4. Cameron Stefanski there in 5th, with Steven Stefanski back in 6th. Dylan Simmons there in 7th with Ryan Howard, Tyler Bowman, Dakota Proud, our top 10 on the speedway. As the laps continue to click down, this battle at the front of the field starting to get a little tighter as the 720 Jackie Whaley trying to track back down this 9 ride with only 7 more laps left to go this next time by the start-finish line. So 7 more laps of racing action here at Lucas Oil Speedway. It's the 9 ride out in front, showing him how to get it done. Michael Olsen leads the way. Jackie Whaley there in 2nd. Philip Sexton right there in position number 3. Each and every one of these drivers looking for a win here on the evening. Jacob Stefanski back there in 4th, and Cameron Stefanski, Steven Stefanski, our top 6. So 3 Stefanskis up inside the top 6 right now, having some great runs here to start this season. Dylan Simmons there in 7th. Ryan Howard, Tyler Bowman, William Hargraves now back inside the top 10 here. It's Hargraves has worked himself around the 19 ride of Dakota Proud. Proud right there, still working to the outside though of that 71 as Hargraves trying to work himself back inside the top 10, trying to finish off and salvage a decent day here at Lucas Oil Speedway in his hopes for the championship here this season. Trying to rebound after that contact early with him and Tyler Jackson, and the Enfield Tractor Tire as Olsen out in front, starting to open up a little bit of a lead here as the 720 ride starting to feel some pressure as here comes Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski looks like he may have found a different gear, realized that it's no longer time to wait. He's got this car pointed in the right direction, possibly he's been saving some tires here for quite a few laps. He went from the race lead back to that 4th position, but now here late in the race, he's charging towards the front of the field, sliding here as they go 3 wide for position number 2. Down across the line, 3 wide into corner number 1. This is exactly what Michael Olsen wants to see. He wants to see these drivers continue to battle. 3 wide back there behind him as he's able to open up a little bit more of a lead, able to build a bit of a cushion between himself and the 2nd and 3rd place drivers as the white flag has been displayed. So one more time to go here for Michael Olsen as Olsen out in front down through corner number 3 for the final time here on the evening as the Monday Night All-Star season opener's gonna go to Michael Olsen in the 9 ride as he picks up the checkered flag here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the 9 machine of Michael Olsen as he picks up the win and parks himself up in victory lane. Jacob Stefanski coming home in position number 2. A great run for the Throttle Down Motorsports Sunrise Racing number 32 ride, and Jackie Whaley in the DWR iRacing iFlag number 720 coming home in position number 3. As Olsen picking up the win, though, putting himself into victory lane. We'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth as down the back straightaway, drivers are going to get ready for a demolition derby. I'm not sure when the demolition derby is going to get underway. They're getting all these drivers ready to rock and roll for this demo derby. Each and every one of them, they're looking to try to pick up the win and be the last car standing down this back straightaway. That's going to be a ton of fun to watch as we'll get ready to pull Michael Olsen up into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview. Alrighty, waiting for the top 3 to jump into the waiting room here as slowly but surely waiting for them to get in there, waiting for Michael Olsen and the rest of the crew to jump into the broadcast awaiting room as Michael Olsen does pick up the win here. We do see these drivers starting the demolition derby down the back straightaway. See Philip Sexton right there, each and every one of them beating and banging, battling body panels, front bumpers, back bumpers, flying off these rides. Drivers going to be going upside down and blowing up here in this demolition derby as they're going to have a ton of fun as all the 344 going upside down. That was Jason Zilmer going upside down there a couple times down the back straightaway as here comes another big hit there for that 344 ride. The 54, the 57 all getting tied up in this one. A big hit right there for the 33 as he slams into a few of these drivers in the 2 rider. Cameron Stefanski right in the thick of things. Nathan Trepo trying to work himself through it, trying to give a couple big hits himself as we see a few drivers upside down. That's Jeremy Akins upside down. He's actually going to get flipped back over onto 2 wheels and keep on rolling here. So a good break there for him as upside down goes the 4 rider Ryan Howard. Somehow or another he ends up back on all 4 wheels here as Tyler Bowman trying to get lined up here for a big hit. He's trying to size up somebody, but unfortunately some pretty heavy right front damage. It's hard for him to turn as, a couple more big hits there for Ryan Howard as he ends up upside down, turtled again here in quarter number 3. Dakota Proud heavy front end damage for him. A huge hit right there on Matt Taylor as the 20 ride came flying in there and absolutely crushed that NLR 56 graphics number 15 right now. He's going to roll up and over the front end of Jason Zilmer, and that puts him upside down as here comes Tyler Bowman looking to try to size up a couple more cars. He gets clipped and now goes right after Jeremy Akins. A big hit there into Akins off that number 79 ride as the 54 looking to build up some speed here, looking for a big run and a big hit. And see the 71H of William Hargrave still in this battle, as well as the demolition derby down the back straightaway, producing some amazing action here for us. These drivers putting on a heck of a show here, beating and banging as we'll get ready to pull Michael Olsen, our race winner, up into the broadcast booth here. As Olsen picking up the win, we're going to pull him up into the broadcast booth right now. Hey, Michael, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, Aaron?
Not too bad, Michael, man. What a run, what a drive here for you in this one. We saw you start about the 8th position or so on the Speedway. You kind of hung around there for quite a while to start this feature event, but slowly but surely seemed like some drivers were starting to fall off, and your car was really coming to life late there in that race. The one restart, we saw Jackie Whaley trying to slow the pace, trying to get everyone a little bit flat-footed there. You were able to time the restart perfectly, got a great launch and stayed to his outside, where you used that outside groove to take the race lead away from him, and ever since then you never looked back as you lead probably about the last 24 laps of this feature event. Put yourself up into victory lane to start the season. It's got to feel pretty dang good.
Yeah, for sure. It it kind of all just came together. I knew if you just buy your time at the beginning of the race, it'll come to you at the end. And sure enough, we had a couple cautions fall our way that we could restart in the lane that we wanted to, and um, I was just lucky to find the middle before Jackie and Jacob did. They started battling there, and I was able to put a couple of really good laps together through the middle and run up on them for a caution. I was like, they don't know about it yet. That was honestly the only thing that really got me past them.
We gotta take the runs when you can get them, and you're able to time it all right and perfectly here this evening as you were able to take that race lead and put yourself at the front of the field. A little bit of pressure there in those closing laps, knowing that you had some tough cookies back there behind you. I'm not sure if you got a mirror on your dirt street stock or not, but they were battling there 2-3 wide for a few laps there, closing in on this checkered flag, which really gave you a little bit of extra breathing room there as Jacob Stefanski was trying to get around Whaley and Sexton, and as they were all battling there for position number 2. It allowed you to open up that little bit of an extra lead that you needed to pull away and stay out of any trouble here late in this race to jump yourself up into victory lane.
Yeah, definitely. Once they got to battling back there, it's you just got to run as many clean laps as you can and just get away from them, because once they straighten out, if they're fast, they're gonna run you right down. So I felt pretty confident though when we got to lead. I was kind of just saving my time, buying my time there. Kind of just managing the gap. I wanted to keep it in between that 2 1/4 to half a second region. And when they started battling, then I was like, all right, we're just going to try to drive away now and sail off to the sunset.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what you did as you sailed off into the sunset here and up into victory lane here on the evening. Michael, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here to start the series?
Yeah, so I got to thank a couple of my real life sponsors here, Thierry's Race Engines, G-Force Race Cars, um, Swindell Speed Lab. Use code Olson9 in the store for a nice little 10% off. John Belando of 5.6 Graphics. He puts together some really good looking cars. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Well, Michael, a great run and a great drive here to start this season off, knowing that you're able to get that first win out of the way here, knowing that you're able to get as many points as possible to start this season. How are you feeling going into these next races, knowing that you got a car good enough to win possibly each and every week? You got a feeling that maybe you might be in contention here for this championship.
Yeah, I mean, when you start out as good as we did tonight, second quick in qualifying, you picked up a spot in the heat race, and then you go 8th to 1st in the feature. You like to think that every race you're going to be battling for the win, but truth be told, there's 30 plus other really good drivers in here. And I mean, I think we saw a clinic for a dirt street stock race here tonight. Put a lot of good guys in these cars, and you're going to get just a hell of a battle. So yeah, I mean, you like to think that you got a shot at maybe running away with it and battling out for a championship, but until it's week 13 and the whole thing's over, you can't really count your chickens before they hatch.
Absolutely. You can never count your chickens before they hatch, but you can count this one into the win column for Michael Olson as you park that number 9 right up here in victory lane at Lucas Oil Speedway. Michael, congratulations on the win here this evening. A great way to start the series, and we look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack next Monday, and hopefully right back up here for many more trips into the broadcast booth here in this season, and hopefully many more trips up into victory lane.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for putting this broadcast on. A lot of followers on your end. You're a pretty big deal here. So knowing a lot of people are going to get to see this is a pretty cool feeling. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and don't party too hard down there in victory lane.
Nah, it's a school night. Can't do that.
Perfect. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our race winner, Michael Olson, as Olson picks up the win, parking that number 9 right up in victory lane here this evening. We'll get ready to pull our second place finisher, Jacob Stefanski, up into the broadcast booth here in just a few more moments, as only a few more drivers left rolling here on the Speedway for our Demolition Derby here. There's not a whole lot of them that are still even driving, as we do see the 344 of Jason Silmer. Jacob Sexton still rolling out there on the Speedway. Heavy damage right there for that 2020 ride. Dakota Pratt's pretty much stopped there on the track. We do see the 71 of William Hargraves. He's still rolling. Can't really turn, but he's still out there. The 33 ride's pretty much stopped on the Speedway as well. So we'll have to wait and see how this is all going to play out and who's going to end up picking up the first win here of our Demolition Derbies on the season. Each and every one of these drivers are feeling that hurt right now. You see that 344 Ryan trying to get that car turned, trying to size up a hit onto William Hargraves. Looks like Hargraves has taken his ride off the Speedway, so I do believe it's basically down to the 344 and Dylan Simmons, but I do believe Simmons is not moving on the racetrack, so not sure if they're going to score that as a Jason Zilmer win here with this Demolition Derby to finish off the evening. I do believe Zilmer probably will pick up the win here. He's trying to finish off that 33, trying to make it a definite win for himself, but I'm not sure how the admins are going to call that. Dylan, unfortunately, not really moving too much there on the racetrack, as there you go. They're both going to leave the surfaces. We'll get ready to pull in our second-place finisher here, Jacob Stefanski. Jacob coming home in position number 2. A great run, a great drive there for him. We're going to pull him up into the broadcast booth.
Each other too much.
Hey, Jacob, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jake, man, another good run, another good race for you here this evening as you were able to lead a few laps to start this race and looked like you kind of fell back there a little bit. I assume maybe trying to save some tires here for late in the race, and that's exactly what happened here in those closing laps. Looked like you found another gear. You jump up on top of the wheel. You start sliding that car through the corners a little bit more, getting a little bit, quicker on the throttle there as you were able to work yourself around Philip Sexton and Jackie Whaley. Unfortunately, though, not as quickly as you would hope, as a little bit of 3 wide there between the 3 of you, and that allowed Michael Olsen to open up a bit of a lead there late in this race, and just not enough time for you to be able to try to hunt him down, man. Take us back through it, and what was going through your mind there in those closing laps, knowing that Olsen was starting to pull away with the win?
Yeah, I just stopped. I lost track of the counting of laps there. I saved. I kind of tucked back in line there. When I was running in second behind Jackie, I wasn't really pushing all that much. I was just kind of riding. And then, and he kind of had a gap going, but I knew there'd be another caution. I knew I had time. And coming down towards the end of the race, I was saving that top slider, that mid to top slider line. And I looked down and there's 5 to go. And I went, oh, crap, I got to go. So I started going. And luckily I was able to get back up around Philip and Jackie. And I thank them for giving racing room, But yeah, I unfortunately just ran out of time. But still overall, very happy with the night.
Absolutely, definitely a great way to start the season here for yourself as you're able to park yourself up in position number 2. Knowing that it's a long series and a lot of racing action left to be had here, you got to be pretty happy with coming home in second, keeping yourself out of trouble. As back there behind you, I don't know if you had a mirror turned on or not, but it was absolutely a dogfight from basically about third on back throughout the rest of this field, as we saw a lot of 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide battles out there on the racetrack, and you guys were kind of just cruising there at the front of the field as it was a war back there behind you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I peeked behind a little bit here and there, but when you got a field this stacked, I mean, there really isn't a weak point, to be honest with you. So you're gonna have that. I mean, it's not very often you see guys like Jim Revis or Corey Sibley not in the top 10. Or even like one of the Sextons or Hargreaves battling for 8th and 9th. I know he came back from catching that tire early, but it's not very often you see the guys that some of the guys that are some of the fastest on a dirt street stock battling and scraping for a 10th. But you get that when you get a really really competitive field like this, and hopefully it put on a good show for everybody.
Absolutely. Definitely put on a great show for us here this evening. Unfortunately, it was my bad. I do apologize not only to you, but Dustin and the entire league. I was late to this one. For some reason, my brain just thought that we were still racing the same time that we started last season at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So when the other series that was supposed to end last week on Thursday pushed back to this week because of the DOS attacks last week, I didn't even think of it. I thought, oh, perfect. It's done before 9 o'clock. I'll be able to jump from there right into here. And then as that race was ending, I looked at my messages. Dustin was like, it's only a 15-minute practice again, right? And I was like, fuck, does that mean it starts at 8:45? And I jumped in here and it was B main. And I was like, son of a gun, what in the world? Fuck, I didn't realize it started at 8 now, man. That got me caught off guard for certain. But that's the only time I'm missing one of the opening races here for you guys. That's for certain. That's the only time. The only reason why it was done is because the other series pushed back their third race into tonight, which was definitely unfortunate. I wish they would have went with tomorrow or Wednesday when I would have had until 9 o'clock at least.
Oh, it's okay. And yeah, and I mean, this season we cut the practice time too. We cut it by about 15 minutes, so it's totally understandable. You've always been great to us, and we can't thank you enough for all you do. And we always really much appreciate all the hard work you do, and you always put on a great broadcast. So, one slip up out of the hundreds of races you put on for the series, I think you'll be all right, bud.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, it definitely caught me off guard though. I just saw the message and I was literally like ending the stream. I unloaded out of the other one and right into this one, and then it was like B main. I was like, oh my god, there's no fucking way. There's no way. But man, I'm glad I still got it in here. Glad I got this race in, especially we got a little bit of the B main left in there as well to start the broadcast off, and then we got all of this A main action where it was absolutely amazing. See you guys back in action here again this evening as we saw you guys duking it out, battling here throughout the race, and we saw you battling there up inside the top 5 throughout this race. Then later on, we saw you jump right back up into position number 2, man. A great way to finish, or let's start off this series, but to finish off the opening race with a solid P2, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive here to start the season?
Oh yeah, I got to thank my guys over at Throttle On Motorsports. Got to thank Sunrise Racing, Steve's Lawn Care, Forever Tandem Boutique, you for doing your broadcast, man. We really much appreciate you. WB Creative Designs, big shout out to Wade, always making my cars look fresh. PJ NFB Auto Car and Trailer Sales, my girlfriend for always supporting me and watching all the streams and liking them, and just all the guys for coming out tonight, and hopefully we can continue the momentum and keep everyone wanting to come back and come out and have a good time with us.
Absolutely, that's the big thing. Always making sure that everyone out there is, for the most part, having fun and enjoying the racing. And I think after tonight, I feel every single one of these drivers inside the top 25, man, had to have had a good time. Maybe not the best time, as you see drivers like Tyler Jackson, who's usually up towards the front of the field. Obviously, not the run he was hoping for. Seems like Jim Revis and a few of these other drivers that got tied up in incidences. But some of those incidences over the next couple weeks, they'll work themselves out. We'll get to different race tracks where things are a little bit easier to race, and obviously maybe a little bit more room to maneuver around the speedway as well, and drivers will get a little bit more used to running against each other. That's why we did so many practice races and everything else to get everyone a little bit more acquainted with each other and driving styles, and slowly but surely, everyone's going to kind of get onto the same page and realize what every single driver's tendencies kind of are, and that's just going to create even better racing than we saw here this evening, which I don't think is very possible, but I know you guys are going to put on non-stop amazing shows for us.
Oh, absolutely. That's the plan. Yeah, I think T-Jack had a tornado warning or watch over in his area. So, yeah, hats off to him. I feel bad, that can be a real night ruiner. But luckily, we do have one drop for the season. So hopefully some of these guys, that are faster like that, like you said, anything can happen on any given week, especially with such a strong field. And as they learn more and more about each other's driving styles, like even Michael Olson, hats off to him for his win tonight. I haven't really ran against Michael, so seeing how he drives and his driving style and learning and adapting and figuring out how I can go out and get that W next week.
Absolutely, learning each and every week, continue to get better and better. But Jacob, a great run here for you. Only one better spot for you next week that you can move up here. Hopefully we'll see you right back out there on the speedway and maybe right back up here in the broadcast booth and in victory lane yourself next Monday. Congratulations again on the second place run here this evening, and we can't wait to see you back out there in the next one.
Thanks, Aaron. You have a great night, man.
Absolutely, you as well.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Jacob Stefanski. Is Jacob coming home there in position number 2. Michael coming in with that like on the stream. Same with Fred Edwards as well coming in, dropping the thumbs up. Michael says, Jake Stefanski for president. Says, rumor has it Jake Stefanski is planning to run a run or two in the Sportsman at Ransomville Speedway this year. Oh my, that would be pretty interesting to see. I know Jake has a lot of time, a lot of laps there at Ransomville in the street stocks. I don't know how much experience he has with the Sportsmans, but I think it'd be definitely cool to see Jakey Poo get out there into a Sportsman and run some laps there at Ransomville or any of the the northeast, northwest modified series, or even jumping across the border and running some at Merritville, or even at Oswego when they have them, or going a little bit farther west and headed to Buxton. Would be pretty awesome to see Jakey Poo out there on the Speedway. Cameron likes the way you think as well, Michael. As we'll get ready to pull our third place finisher, Jackie Whaley, up here into the broadcast booth. A great run and a great drive for the 720 ride as we pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jackie, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Jackie, man, another good run, another good race here for that 720 ride as you pull it up onto the podium here. Unfortunately, a couple spots shy of where you really wanted to be is just late in this race. You open up the door there, you got a slow start there on the restart, kind of just trying to get everyone else a little flat-footed there and bind together, and unfortunately, Michael Wilson was used that as a good jump to work himself to the outside of you, and unfortunately, he was able to take that top spot away, and then there late in the race, Jacob Stefanski able to use some of that extra tire that he was saving to get back around you as well.
Oh yeah, stupid mistakes by me. I don't know. I felt like that one was mine and I lost it, but that's the way it goes sometimes, man. Olsen, he was real fast there at the end, and Jacob and I battled pretty much the whole race off and on, and I've always raced real well with him. But that's just the way it goes. That's why they call it racing, I guess, and not winning.
Absolutely, definitely. The reasoning right there is sometimes you can think you have them in the bag and they could be snatched away in a heartbeat, or in real life, you get a flat tire, or you drop a cylinder, or anything can happen out there, and all of a sudden, you go from in the winner's circle to, outside of, even the top 10 or anything like that, but you're able to hang on and pick up a solid third place run to start the season, and after a great performance like you did here tonight, you gotta feel pretty good with, how the series is getting underway and what you got here for the rest of the field here in the next 12 weeks.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. It's really busy time of year for me with work and stuff, so there's a good possibility that I may not make all the races, but I'm hoping to. Dustin and them, they put this on. They're doing a really good job with it this year, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If I'm able to make it, I'm able to make it, I guess.
Absolutely, definitely going to be a heartbreak not to see you out here weekly battling for that championship, but hopefully you end up making all of them. I know there's one drop week, so hopefully, if anything, you only missed that one race, but hopefully no more than that. Is always a tough competitor, always a driver up there in the hunt for championships here in the Monday Night All-Stars. Jackie, a great run and a great way to start the season off. Definitely not the spot you want to be, as you want to be a couple spots better here this evening and up in victory lane, but a solid third place start here has got to feel at least half decent, knowing that you're pointing in the right direction. You got some of that rust knocked off, and still being able to pull it up onto the podium with so many great talented drivers back there behind you.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I guess I can blame it on for not being on as much as I used to be. It's just work's been real busy, and just haven't got to practice like I normally do. So like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. I still feel pretty competitive with all the drivers that we have. So we'll just wait and see what happens, man.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Jackie, a solid third place run here this evening at Lucas Oil Speedway. Who'd you like to thank for such a great run and great performance here on the evening?
All my teammates back at DWR, iRacing, iFlag, BladeNode.com, Martin Sports, Evil One Graphics, sure, Mama's Garage. I'm sure I'm missing some, but just everybody that's involved with DWR. Really good group to be with. Really had a lot of fun with them. But and you, of course, for putting on such a great broadcast, and Dustin and them for putting on a pretty good league.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Jackie, a great start to the season here for you, and hopefully we'll see you back out here on the Speedway more and more, and hopefully right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe a couple spots better next time, and up in victory lane yourself.
Hopefully next time we talk, I'm setting number one.
Absolutely, brother.
Hopefully.
All right, Jackie,
Hopefully.
enjoy the rest of your evening, brother. Solid run here tonight, and we can't wait to see you back out there, hopefully next Monday.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the night.
Night.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Jackie Whaley. Is Whaley coming home there in position number 3 on the evening? A solid run and a solid drive there for Mr. Whaley as he pulls up the 720 ride up onto the podium. Unfortunately, not the spot he wanted to be. I know he wanted to be up in victory lane. Unfortunately, he has to settle in there for, he wanted to be in that winner's circle, has to settle for position number 3 here on the evening, and unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here again this evening, man. A great run, a great race, and a great show by each and every one of these drivers as they put on a heck of a race here for us, man. We saw some great battling out there, 2, 3, 4 wide out there on the Speedway, putting on a heck of a show for each and every one of us to enjoy here on the evening. Unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here tonight. We'll be back in action tomorrow evening as we get ready for the Slingshot Sim Racing Series trucks back in action tomorrow evening. So we'll be headed back to the asphalt tomorrow night for the SSR trucks, and then we'll be back in action here at the Monday Night All-Stars next Mondays. You can catch race number 2 next week. These drivers will go to battle. They will duke it out once again, and we will see maybe a new winner up in victory lane in race number 2. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out here next Monday. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out for now, babe. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.